There's a guy in Salt Lake City who'll stop at absolutely nothing when it comes to out-of-control decorating. He'll swing from trees, weld together pieces of metal, splice miles of extension cords, and even toot his own horn.
So from here on out, it's monkey time.
The man up the tree is Marty Slack,
I just want to make sure the tree has plenty of lights in it.
a manic tree climber, wicked welder, born to be wild biker, out-of-control electrician, high-tech computer genius, and festive French horn player. Talents that collide each year in a high-voltage Christmas display Marty calls Christmas Utah.
Welcome to Christmas, Utah.
Marty's pretty much a lunatic.
What exactly is Christmas Utah? Maybe we should let Marty explain.
Christmas, Utah, that's the name of my display.
Oh, come on. There's more to it than just the name. What Marty is too modest to say is, for the past 8 years, he has worked not just round the clock, but round the calendar to create one of the largest home lighting displays in Utah.
I've already started planning stuff for next year.
You could say Marty is out of his tree with all this decorating, if he didn't spend so much time up in the trees.
How many people do you know that would climb a 60-foot tree just to make sure there are lights all the way to the top?
Marty is willing to go to extremes, all right. But his wife, Mikhail, knows there's more behind all this holiday madness than Christmas cheer. Marty, who was once reluctant to put up Christmas lights at all, suddenly took an interest when a neighbor went out of control with his decorations.
The neighbor really outdid him, so I think it kind of bugged him.
Who knew the Christmas spirit could be so competitive?
I guess we inspire each other to some degree.
This year, Marty has been inspired to up the ante with the biggest addition to his display ever. A mountain. No, not that mountain. That mountain. Marty sparked this monstrosity by welding together a metal frame and filling it with corrugated plastic. The contours are all heavy metal. But come nightfall, 2 spinning disco balls will dust the mountain with a flurry of snow-white light.
It's neat to have something that's real big and bold that people will notice.
If the goal is getting noticed, Marty's got that covered, especially when you consider he's wired his yard with over 70,000 lights, all of them programmed by Marty to flicker and flash.
So I'll spend at least 10 hours for every minute of the show that people see at night.
And this year, even Santa is wired for speed, thanks to a lighted motorcycle inspired by Marty's wild side.
I have a controller that runs the lights that control the wheels. It makes it look like the wheels are spinning and the back of Santa's hat is flapping in the wind.
But seeing is only part of the Christmas Utah experience. To get the rest, you have to tune in and listen.
I have my own radio station with my own transmitter.
As part of his display, Marty even programs his own radio station, just so visitors don't have to get out of their cars on cold nights to hear his Christmas music.
It's a low-power station to make it all legal, so as soon as you leave the neighborhood, you won't be able to listen anymore.
And while we're talking music, perhaps this is a good time to mention the live band?
These lights are for the musicians to help us play in sync with the lights.
The light show is spectacular, but Marty doesn't just create Christmas Utah, he performs it.
The band is the Wasatch Brass.
On weekend nights in December, Marty and his band really put on a show by playing in sync with the lights in his display. A flash in here lets the musicians know when to hit the beat of the lights flashing out there. We're not sure if the full impact is music for the eyes or lights for the ears. But all of this, Santa tearing it up on his motorcycle, the mountain dusted with disco snow, and the lights pulsing along to Marty's live music, all of this is Christmas Utah.
Once it's done and I look at it, I'm amazed that it turned out that well. It's hard to believe that I could actually do something and make it that fun.
For people who take holiday decorating to the extreme, it's all about being brighter, better, and of course, bigger. Like, say, an 11-foot Santa.
This is the big guy,
He is our first really large item that we started the display with. We call him our dancing Santa. He's pretty cool.
Christmas began taking over this Cincinnati lawn 8 years ago when Mike Fuchs, a rather jolly dentist, took one look at that super-sized Santa with a 13-foot sleigh and knew bigger just had to be better.
Out of control? I don't know how you define out of control.
Mike adds up to a dozen new pieces every season.
If you build it, they will come.
Making his collection of giants, well, giant. Just ask delivery person Mark Bonnert.
Been on this route for 7 years, and it's the most awesome display I've ever seen.
Nothing says Christmas like acrobatic Santas, a parachuting Santa, silly, even sassy Santas. And every one of them weighs more than 100 pounds.
There's that fine line between wondering whether you're really crazy or whether you're just having fun. And we, I think, move in and out of that line pretty well.
At last count, this cast of characters had hit 60. Add to that 100,000 dancing lights.
All aboard!
And a maze of miniature train tracks that takes Mike and a team of 40 elves 400 hours to assemble. Which begs the question, what does wife Debbie think of all this?
You do have to have quite a sense of humor.
My wife said, he's not out of control.
He's out of his mind.
It's a passion. The sense of wanting to create something that is going to make people feel happy. I still get goosebumps when we turn this thing on.
Every Thanksgiving, the yard comes to life.
You just go. It's just breathtaking.
The Titanic toy soldiers and elves put on a show, thanks to motorized platforms built by Mike. Such technical wizardry needs its own nerve center, and Mike has one right next to the canned soup.
We're in the pantry, and this is the monster brain, which functions as the computer that drives the animation, the music, and the lights.
A mad scientist? How about a dad scientist? His 7, that's right, 7 daughters think Dad's a little obsessed.
I would describe it as insane. I've never met anyone that has done anything as large as my dad has.
Back outside, Dad's doing what he loves best, working the crowds. The electric bill will be $500 higher this month. And thanks to those new toy soldiers, all this stuff no longer fits in the basement. But it's a small price to pay for an out-of-control Christmas.
I asked a little girl one day what she wanted from Santa Claus, and she said, well, don't you know? And I said, well, how would I know? And she says, well, I faxed you my list 4 days ago.
Ho, ho, ho!
There's something about that it really goes right to my soul.
Up next, more merry mayhem with lights, fish, and pill bottles. That's right, expect the unexpected with a kitschy Christmas blowout as Out of Control Christmas continues.